I just want to go back to a question that you answered, Kevin, that you basically feel the system works fairly well. You will have read the Construction and Procurement of Ferry Vessels in Scotland report, which I guess you agreed with in principle, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm now confused by your answer then. So what the committee said in that, it was a cluttered decision-making process, lacks transparency, varying degrees of failure. CMAL failed to discharge their respective responsibility effectively. The experience of the contracts 801 and 802 exposed serious failures in the tripartite agreement and therefore needs a root and branch overhaul. So basically what the committee said was CMAL failed, but in the way forward you're saying it's fine, there's not a problem, let's just crack on. Is that what you're saying? Because if that is what you're saying, I am seriously concerned for ferry procurement in Scotland.
What we're actually saying is that, as Jim has described and Ramsey has described as well, ultimately we are improving things day by day, and we will continue to do so. Looking back in history, was it perfect? No, it wasn't. Any report that comes out, we look at it, there are lessons learned and we improve. And that's what any business ought to do.
Well, I understand that, but creeping forward is not what the committee recommended. And what we the REC committee, what we're charged with doing is trying to find out a way to take it forward. The final part of that paragraph, which I'm sure you know, and I know the report fairly well, I would have to say, is that there should be scope for streamline and simplified decision-making structures by merging or abolishing certain of them. That means that CMAL, without putting too fine a point according to that committee, should be no longer. You challenge that?
Yes.
And on the basis of making creeping changes, that's the only reason you're challenging it, is it?
No,
or the fact that
we're not making creeping changes. That's your words, not mine.
Well, are they root and branch? Root and branch suggests a massive change.
Well, obviously, massive change hasn't happened, but Project Neptune might look at that.
Okay. I'll come back to that. James.
Jim. There's a lot of all of this that we read in the press, in the news, and committee aware of, and the whole country's aware of. It's all centred around 801 and 802, and it really, really is. And I'm still not sure that everybody's got all the facts of 801 and 802 and why there's problems. CMAL have been labelled with, at the root of all that, and it's absolutely not the case. CMAL have got a history of delivering vessels. We've done it since I've been in the company, since 2009. We're now moving forward with another 4 vessels, another 7. But for whatever reason, we're tarred with the 801 and 802 brush as being something has to change because of the problems at the Ferguson shipyard. And absolutely, I'm the only person that's been here ever present, and the chair. And I can tell this committee right now and others that it is not the case.
But Jim, I understand why you want to disassociate CMAL from 801 and 802. I understand why you want to do that. But
I'm not disassociating those. Sorry,
I didn't interrupt you, so please do not interrupt me, because that will not start this off on the right foot. So what I'm saying is Transport Scotland and CMAL applied inadequate due diligence to scrutinising the signing off the process, insufficient due diligence. These are all words in here. And where we are, we're on a project that cost £97 million, was due to cost, and is probably going to end up costing £500 million. Forgive me if I don't understand why the people of Scotland shouldn't find that of due concern when you were overseeing the contract as an organisation. Explain to me why they shouldn't.
Can I come in here?
Yes, Marek, of course.
Because I did think this meeting and committee was going to be about forward-looking issues, but the point I would like to make is I think the procurement of the current vessels shows that we have made great strides and not creeping changes in how we procure vessels. I don't think that you could challenge the manner in which the 4 large vessels have now been procured.
Okay, and I totally agree with you. And one of the things that the report that says is about transparency. So we know some of the vessels, 2 of the vessels are going to cost £111 million. I would like to know, for example, have you addressed the issue of stage payments? Have you addressed all the other issues that were made in the REC report? Because when you ask for that information, we're told that it's commercially sensitive and we can't have it. So it is very difficult for people to scrutinise it and understand there's change. Maybe we should leave that. It is, but looking forward, I would say, is about learning from history so you don't repeat the same mistake.
And I think we have learned from history. We have not repeated the same mistakes, and I think that will be clear in terms of the procurement of not just the large vessels, but we can come on to talk about the small vessel replacement plan, which I hope we will get onto at some point in this session.
That will be up to committee members.
Indeed.
I'm going to come to Mark Ruskell now.
Not expect.
Mark.